Ugh. Finally, I can take that thing off. Ooh. Okay, it's been a long night. Now, we did get some Funko Pops for The Flash for the movie. Forgot to mention that. Think I did. Yeah, it's just been a long night. So we've been Funko Pop hunting for these Flash Funkos, and I've been watching the movie. Yeah, and there was supposed to be a whole McDonald's part of this video. Funny story, their power went out like right when we ordered. I probably think that's because of me, because, you know, I run fast and power went out. Okay, on with the movie review. Was Flash worth the 2-year wait? In my opinion, fuck yeah. The Flash was amazing. I can't stop smiling or grinning. This movie, man, was just so awesome. And I'm not going to go into detail about too much about the Ezra Miller situation, because as you guys know, I do not like talking about it. I think the fan base for it is just toxic as hell. And, you know, the guy is the guy, you know, he's human. He's going to make mistakes. Although some of them are pretty serious, you know, I done some pretty crappy stuff in my life that I don't feel good about, but I still recovered from it. And the guys come out are like saying that he's trying to get some help. So I don't know what you want more from him. So last thing I need to say about that is I feel like a lot of people, because a lot of people are thinking this movie is mid. It is not mid. This movie's really good. That's just my opinion, but if Ezra Miller, let's say, didn't have these criminal charges or whatever, these rumors, if they weren't there, this movie would be so much better and receiving better attention. And this movie, like, pretend Ezra Miller didn't do the stuff he did. This movie would have a lot more stuff in it. But people are toxic nowadays and just tend to shit on people when they make mistakes. So, yeah, due to that, this movie didn't get attention. And as of right now, it has the box office weekend. Yeah, it's not looking good. So far, it's made less than Black Adam. And yeah, it's basically 12 o'clock at night right now. So technically, it's Friday, so the page came out saying that. So, technically, because I won't be uploading this video until next week. I just had a lot to say about this movie. I had a lot of time to myself, and I didn't really know what I was going to say about this movie, because there's just so much praise that this movie should get and deserves. There's a lot of stuff I'm definitely you guys might not agree on, but that is just my opinion, like I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, let's start this movie review kind of now. Okay, this movie was amazing. All right. Great action. I gotta say, Ezra Miller, man, did it for me. And people say that this movie, the humor just doesn't land. Some of it does, and they said, but like some of it's very cringy, and yeah, that is true. However, that is the Flash, in my opinion. I mean, you can't be telling me in the Justice League cartoons that Flash don't tell cringy ass jokes. Same with Grant Gustin. He makes cringy ass jokes. You guys laughed then. It's just because of Ezra Miller. I swear to God, that is it. It's because of Ezra Miller. That's why this movie is getting shit. I mean, it's just so devastating in my opinion because they've worked so hard on this movie, and I'll talk about the CGI real quick. People did not like it. I actually dug the hell out of it, and the director, Andy Muschietti, I think his name is. Is that right? Yeah. He said it was a stylistic choice. I'm fucking all up for that, honestly. And he said you're kind of seeing it from the Flash's eyes. And people say that that's an excuse because it's a low box office and shit. And honestly, I don't think it is. Because, honestly, I don't know if you guys know, when Flash runs, he sees the whole world in slow motion. So that stylistic choice, that is perfect. I give him so much respect for that. So, and yes, the CGI does look a little wonky, even when he's not running. There was only one bad CGI moment. I was like, that's really bad. And that was when he put the baby in the microwave, and he opened up the microwave, and it was the CGI baby face. It looked like somebody out of iRobot. And I was like, it's just like $1 billion movie, and they couldn't make that look better. But I'm not here to shit on the CGI because it was expensive, you know. And I could tell why they did not want to cancel this movie. So obviously, guys, you know, I'm going into spoilers now. So basically what happens at the beginning is, now I actually kind of got a little emotional on this. Ben Affleck's last performance, because I think he deserved his solo movie, but it just never happened. So I felt like they did Ben Affleck right in this movie. I felt like he was a perfect send-off, and I actually, like I said, I got emotional. I was a little teary-eyed because at the end of the movie I kind of got teary-eyed because I was thinking of that, because I'll be talking about the ending later, but he doesn't show up at the ending, and literally his last words of the DCEU are is maybe next time, and he just drives away. And that was just so like you know, it was just so heartful and impactful, you know. I just felt that, you know. I was like, damn, I just wish his Batman got more praise. And he, from the screen time he actually had a lot less screen time. Like, literally, the stuff that he's in the trailers, that's the only parts that Ben Affleck's in. Because, literally, Ben Affleck's only in here for 20 minutes of the movie. Of the beginning. And it's, honestly, that was really disappointing because it is the last DCEU movie. Yeah, but he was great. He had his comic accurate suit. Oh my God, seeing it in action was freaking awesome. Another thing I can praise this movie for, it is very well shot. They got some cold shots. Like that time that Batman's like kneeling down, and Michael Keaton's Batman is like kneeling down, and then Supergirl carrying Flash into the air, and it's just visually stunning. This movie deserves so much for that, because it was just so cool seeing this in theaters, and this is probably one of the best theater experiences I've had also. Wonder Woman showed up, and when I saw that lasso, I was like, ooh, is it gonna be Wonder Woman? And she showed up. I'm clapping in the theaters. I heard a little bit people in the background going, woo! You know, just like really quietly. Surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of people there to see this movie. Fuck, I mean, why not, right? But, yeah, Wonder Woman. I don't know about Gal Gadot. I think she did still the best Wonder Woman. Live action, by far. Her first movie was good. I haven't seen her second one. I heard it wasn't good. But I'm still gonna watch it because I mean, people are saying this movie's bad, but I thought it was good. So I mean, yeah. This movie was just so well written too. Now, as you guys know, this is based on the Flashpoint Paradox comic. And it was, for me, this was so cool because it was basically seeing the Flashpoint Paradox cartoon done in live action. And that for me was just so freaking cool. And Ezra Miller, best performance. Best performance, man. Best performance out of any DCU character. Better than Ben Affleck, I'm sorry. Better than Gal Gadot. Better than most of the Justice League characters. Because the chemistry between him and his mom, oh my god. I cried at the end. I got teary. And the other guy I was with, Jesse, he said he did too. So basically, Barry goes back in time and screws up everything, and it's really cool to see the possibility of what the universe could look like if he did that. And Michael Keaton's Batman comes into play where they kind of get him into the Batman, and I was so let down when people saw, like, literally, I thought my theater was me clapping and cheering and shit. Nope, not at all. Nope, I was clapping for sure, but I mean, it was just kind of a big letdown. Just seeing that Batwing too. Now, people also said this was a very nostalgia bait movie. I don't think that's the case. It is nostalgic. However, though, it fits with the plot. Like, Batman isn't just there to be there. He's a part of this story and a part of the storyline, basically. And I don't know why people just shit on this movie. This movie is so good, well written, has great characters. Sasha Calle, I think her name is Supergirl. She's kind of cute. I do like her. She's a very cute looking lady. But did really well. And I hope they keep her in the DCU, because I do not like Superman or Supergirl, but her performance in here, from the little screen time she has, honestly, I'm sorry, you guys are gonna hate me for that. She's better than Henry Cavill. I just don't like Superman. I'm sorry, I'm just not into him. I just think he's a big show off. That was really cool to see that. And Michael Keaton's Batman, oh my god. With the effects that they have nowadays, they made him actually fucking like move and kick ass, man. I'm not even talking. He's like up and he's going on this freaking Kryptonian that's like twice his fucking size, and he's like boom, throwing bombs at him. And just seeing Michael Keaton, an 80-year-old Batman, doing that, it's like, it's so awesome. Like, my jaw was just dropped. And Zod was a good standout. And also the chemistry between Barry Allen and Barry Allen. Like, there was some cringy dialogue. It was funny, though. Like, most of the jokes in this movie landed for me. Yeah, and it was just so awesome seeing that. I just can't think of all the things I need to say about this movie, because this movie is just so awesome, and it deserves a lot more praise than it does or did. Excuse me. Also, at the end, I heard a lot of people say it's a big CGI mess. I can see why, because they're using a little too much CGI, but it was not a mess. It was, in my opinion, it was cinema. And I did feel like with Dark Flash, basically at the end, what happens is, they had some balls to do this, like I said, spoilers. So, they killed off Supergirl. And I kind of saw that coming with Supergirl, because most of the people die in Flashpoint Paradox. That's just a story. Half of the people die that's already on the team, except for Flash. So I saw, but that just like hurt me when they killed Supergirl. I was like, but what even hurt me more is that they killed off Michael Keaton's Batman. He went out like a G. That's all I gotta say. He went out like a G. This motherfucker, almost 70 years old, man. He went out like a G. Holy shit. That was just awesome to see. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that they did that. Now, people are gonna hate me for saying that, but it just felt earned, you know? and it felt impactful for me, definitely. Like Barry just like holding Batman, and he's just like, hey, I can bring you back. And Michael Keaton's Batman's like, you already did, and he's dying, and I'm like, oh my god, it was heart-wrenching. I felt the emotion, and basically the second Barry runs back in time, and what they keep on doing is turning back the time, and Zod still ends up overpowering everybody and keeps on killing Batman and Supergirl and stuff, and eventually Barry 1 is like realizing, okay, this isn't good, you know. You can't outrun everything. So, and Barry 2 is, and I could just feel the emotion because it makes so much sense, and I just gotta give, it's hard enough to play two characters, but it's like Ezra Miller gave these two characters two different personalities, because Flash number 2, or Barry Allen 2, is a little more childish, and the other one is more mature, still has those childish tensions, but it's different, you know? And I mean, like I said, I could just feel the emotion because Barry 2 is like, no, you'll kill Mom if we don't do this, and Barry's like, we have to, you know, and then they end up fighting a little bit. Now, I kind of saw this coming. Dark Flash, not Black Flash, oh my god. Dark Flash, I kind of saw that he was going to be Barry 2. I could just see from the trailer, I'm like, there's really no villain other than Zod, and I know there's a surprise villain. Because of the Funko Pops, and Dark Flash ended up being the villain, and when he knocked his ass out, Dark Flash, like, half of his face melts, and he has the same scar as Barry 2, and then Barry 2 is still there, but Dark Flash is a version of the Barry 2 that just kept on going and trying to outrun so he could save his mother, and he's tried like a million times, and he's like ruining the whole universe and world, and this is where we get cameos, man. We got Adam West's Batman. We got Christopher Reeve Superman. Now, I don't like Superman, but I actually like that cameo. That was pretty nice to see. People say it was a little disrespectful. You know, as long as, you know, their families are okay with it, because, you know, Christopher Reeve died. And it's just, you know, it just kind of, for me, it just felt like a legacy that was getting recognition, you know. That was just my opinion, and people felt the complete opposite, but that's just me. And Nicolas Cage's Superman comes in, and I'm looking at Jesse because I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Me and him are huge Nicolas Cage fans. I mean, fuck, we have this Ghost Rider movie or movie review coming out soon saying that they're not bad movies for the 2000s. Compared to now, they're shit. But I mean, it was just so cool seeing that. And Adam West Batman, I think he even said something about it. He goes, what if there's like Adam West's Batman in here? Because he was talking about he owns the DVDs for the show. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to lose my shit. And he was on screen. I was like, no fucking way. And yeah, it was just so cool seeing that. And basically, the only thing I was really upset about is Grant Gustin did not get a chance to shine. I really, just imagine how cool that would have been if Grant Gustin just, you don't see him at first, but then some Flash just punches Dark Flash, and then he just stops, and the camera angle turns, and it's Grant Gustin. Dude, my theater probably would have been fucking cheering. With the little people I had, but that would just be so much better. And then actually have like a climactic fight, because Dark Flash didn't have that, in my opinion. They pretty much, Dark Flash was about to kill the Flash, Flash 1, and Barry 2 came in the way and got stabbed, and basically, I think that was a little cheap, but that's fine, you know, any way to unwrap the story, but basically Barry 2 dies, and Dark Flash, because Barry 2 is Dark Flash, he kind of just disappears, and Flash reruns the timeline, and everything's back to normal. But before that, actually, he has a moment with his mom, and oh my god, I cried. I couldn't. Like, just seeing him, like, hold his mom, and he's hugging her, and like I said, one of the best performances ever, and his mom is so sweet, and I just love it. Then he goes back in time, everything's back to normal. He gets his dad out of jail. That's freaking amazing. But yeah, this movie's great. Now I'm gonna talk about the divisive ending, because I did not feel like it was definitely a conclusion to the DCEU, but not the one I expected. Now when he calls Bruce Wayne, he comes out of his car, and it's not Bruce Wayne. Well, it's Bruce Wayne, but I didn't recognize who it was at like the first 5 seconds. And then when I looked closer, it clicked for me. And you're not going to believe this. George Clooney's Batman fucking comes in as Bruce Wayne. And I'm like, and Barry, he even says best F-bomb usage of a PG-13 ever. Except for Venom, let there be carnage. Fuck this guy. No, I'm just kidding. But Barry's like, who the fuck are you? I heard my theater laughing. It was pretty funny. Now, I did hear, this is one of the funniest DCU movies. I did hear a lot of my crowd laughing a lot. So many times in the theater. That was good to see, at least. But that just, I didn't know how to feel about that, because I'm thinking George Clooney, you know, is the new DCU Batman. But I watched this guy named 3 Seat Films. I'll put his link in the description. Basically, he said that that's not going to be true, because James Gunn, the new lead of Dumbest Thing Marvel did, is fire James Gunn. But now he's the new lead of DC, which he's going to rock it. I can already just tell. He's already confirmed that he's not the new Batman, George Clooney. So how I expected it to end is, and I would have loved this ending that I have in my head better, is if Barry went back in time, right? And they had all the cast, whoever, like if, let's say, Zachary Levi's Shazam was staying in the DCU for the new timeline, he would just stay, you know, and he would show up, and they would have all their new actors and the actors who are staying and just like interact for the last 10 minutes of the movie or something, just kind of giving you just a look at the new DCU timeline. But that never happened. Literally, all you see is George Clooney's Batman, and pretty much the movie ends. It was a conclusion, definitely, for the DCU. It's just not the conclusion I was looking for. Because, in my opinion, there's still a lot of unanswered questions, which is unfortunate. But otherwise, phenomenal movie here. This movie is great. That's pretty much all I got to say about this movie. This movie was very good, very good. It was not mid whatsoever. It doesn't deserve the shit it's getting. And Ezra Miller did a phenomenal performance, and I can relate to him in real life. You know, you're going to make mistakes, but you just want to help, you know, yourself. So honestly, this movie, man, has just kind of got me here, you know what I mean? So it was definitely a conclusion, but not the conclusion I wanted to end the DCU, but I'm just glad they're starting fresh. So, then there's this post-credit scene. I sat through fucking 20 minutes of credits just for a post-credit scene, basically confirming that Jason Momoa is staying as Aquaman. I think that's basically what I was trying to get across, because he's literally drunk, falls in a puddle of water, and that's it. I was pissed. I waited 20 minutes just for that post-credit scene. I was like, really? I would have preferred there was no post-credit scene, honestly. But yeah, guys, that's end of the DCEU. So, This movie was great. This movie was great. But also another thing is Flash had to like keep eating and stuff in this movie. I thought that was kind of a funny gig, and that is actually one of his weaknesses, one of my weaknesses. You know, I have to eat, so I'm gonna grab a bite to eat, and then I'll be back with the Funko Pops. Ow, shit.